we are going to focus on summer session number 6 today. We are going to try to do a cute, colorful little sea turtle, and I'm really enjoying these watercolor brush pens. A lot of people have asked about these, and they are a lot of fun. You may think that you could just use these as markers right away, but what you actually have to do is you have to use water like you would as any watercolor and dip it in to the water. So you would take your pen, you would dip it in color. But first, let's go over our drawing of a sea turtle. And I will put these on the side. And it's going to be as colorful as the others we've done over the summer because I really enjoy that style. So let's start with this area on this side of the paper. Now our sea turtles tend to have an oval shaped head. So let's just kind of go over here off to the top right and mark out a slight oval. From our little sea turtle, which actually is a big sea turtle, we're going to space it out a little bit here, and we're going to do a light and very large oval, which is going to make our cute little sea turtle's back. Now I'm kind of making it already the shape of a sea turtle. As you can see, the shell would be a little different, but it's basically 2 ovals. And what we want to do here is we're going to kind of connect it here and here. Okay, very light because a lot of this is going to change with my trusty eraser. Because I love my eraser. And we are just fleshing out some things. Now, let's work on adding a bit of a diamond shape here for 1 foot. And what we're going to do here is we're going to come out here and here because they have these little flipper looking feet that help them swim in the oceans. So we're just going to go out like this and this. We're just working on the shapes. A lot of these marks will soon be molded and erased. Now, let's start with the shape of the head. Now that we've had this, I'm going to come right here and I'm just going to draw a little bit of a line here that I'm going to start curving underneath, because turtles have this little, almost looks like a little superhero mask right here, the sea turtles, and it's going to curve over, and we're just going to add another little dip here, and then we're going to go right over here. This is where their little beak of a nose is going to be, right here. But first, let's shape our little buddy's head. There we go. We're just going to come up here, and we're going to go around. We're just going to go up and over, just like so. There we go. Perfect. All right. Now, if you hear any excitement in the background, that is a intense match of Minecraft that's going on downstairs with my son. He gets on there a little bit every other day or so and meets some of his friends online, and they do a nice little round of Minecraft, and it gets pretty competitive down there, but he's only allowed on there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours maximum, so I'll have to keep track of that too. But he does lots of creative things, so let's not worry about that. So I'm going to come out here actually, and what I want to do is go a little bit past this now that I've created his beak, so that I can wrap right around his beak just slightly. Now I'm going to give a quick shout out to one of my friend's daughters. She has been sending a lot of work, grabbing her mom's phone and sending me pictures of her work. So I'm going to say shout out to little Carly Ann. I'm looking forward to seeing more of your work. She's really getting into my stuff. So shout out to her She is really interested in colorful things and art, and I am very much impressed with all of her work that she has been sending me in. So if you're listening and you're watching, can't wait to see your sea turtle. All right, so we're going to move on here. And what happens is he has a little bit of a neck that goes, it's a little bit of a curve here, kind of, because they're kind of thick-necked little creatures. And what happens right under his nose here is we have a little bit of a mouth that drops here and goes up. And then it kind of goes here and it curves downward with a little arc right there. Okay. So now we're going to go from here. We're going to add his shell. The shell is also a bit of a curve here. And then it kind of has a smooth edge that goes around and up a little bit and comes down. And then it goes upwards. Okay. Remember, it's okay to move your paper around. That always helps me. Sometimes I forget when I'm making videos, so I think I have to keep it straight. But it is always a good idea to move your paper when you need to. This will curve right about here, and it comes to a little bit of a point there that comes in. And then we're just gonna pull it down right over here. And we're gonna connect it to this line right there. So it's getting a shape, it's getting there. It has like a double shell area. It kind of like a pie crust. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up right here and we're just gonna go this way. Okay, and we're gonna make the little pie crust edge. We're gonna come down and we're just gonna kind of follow along the same path that we did before. Okay, and we're gonna curve up, try to make it smooth right here. There we go. And this is where we're still forming our shapes. Now the little body of the sea turtle actually comes down a little bit under here so we can see it. I'm going to erase this line eventually. But I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start making a little bit of a kind of little fold of a skin here. 1, 2, 3 in the shape that I've made. And then we're going to bring it out as a curve now. See, it's just like a piece of clay where you form your shapes of the turtles. And we just go here. There we go. And then we this with our little guy, and we will come over here also back behind his little turtle shell. I think it actually should be moved back a little more. That's where I've made an error. It's too close, so I'm going to move this back and I'm just going to pull out a little bit of a curve here, smooth it out, and then bring it up this way. Okay, now that we've had some of this fleshed out, I'm just going to come in here and those little markings that we used to shape out our little turtle, I'm going to get rid of some of those. It's always important to draw lightly. Keep it in mind. There we go. Okay. go. I'm going to fix this here. There we go. Whoops. All right. Now, part of the sea turtle is the shell, as you clearly know. It's a lot of fun to do. We're just going to mark off a few sections here. Okay? And I'm just going to add a little bit of a edge here to flesh it out a little bit. And I'm going to kind of curve the edges here and then go in and flesh out some of this to have a more smooth, scaly appearance. Like this. So there we go. So each section, it's not just lines, right? You can easily go in here and do lines, but if you want to take a little more advanced route, make each little section an individual smooth, almost square, trapezoid-like feeling there. There we go. It's always in the details that people look at art and say, wow, this person put a lot of time into that. Especially if you're younger and people see the artwork, then they're like, wow, that's really good. And it's okay if it takes time. It's okay because that's what art is. It's supposed to be a relaxing, fun atmosphere. It should take time. You should enjoy it. Very relaxing. It's a lot of fun. And we're just going to keep going on. We're just going to add these little bits here. And we're just going to go there. And then again, these little markings that we have down here, we're going to get rid of those. And up here. And then I use my brush pens. You will paint those in. Okay, so now we're going to just smooth this out now because I'm starting to commit to this line right here. And now we've got to think about our turtle shell. So I'm going to come out here because it always looks segmented. And whoops, what I have learned is it's not as easy as one would think to do the turtle shells lines, but it's not as difficult either if you just think about breaking it down into shape. So I'm adding a little bit of curves here so they look a little bit like a curved three-dimensional scape here. Okay, so I'm going up and down, and I'm just going to pull some down here, and then I'm going to add the line up there, and I'm going to add a line up here, and we're just going to go from this point there. Okay. Now, another thing with these sea turtles is on their feet. There's things that look kind of like these bumps that were along the shell. So this is where it becomes more work. You just got to kind of go with the flow here. And add these smooth shapes with the little curves on the outside. They're like little ovals and circles. Make a big toe looking thing here. And we will add some here. There we go. continue to add a variety of ovals and shapes. And we will paint them later. So we're gonna go here. This is where they're a little bit longer, I believe, on the perimeter of our sea turtle's front legs. And I don't know if you've ever seen sea turtles in live person. I've seen a few, not on the beach, but I've seen them at turtle hospitals because they always get injured by boating accidents and fishermen and things like that. So I've been to a few of those with my kids. All right, here we go. They're pretty large animals, quite beautiful. And it looks like kind of like, you know, dragon scales almost. Lots of detail. So let's see, the drawing and the painting is going to take some time. So if it takes you more than one day, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay to take more than one day for these. Now, if you want to take a simple version, you can simplify these as well. It depends on how you feel you want to make it work. It's all about what you enjoy and your spin on things. Okay. Now we are missing little spot right up here. We're going to go over here. Let's add a little bit of a detail here on his nose, his little beak, and we'll just put that right there. And then we have right here is where this cute little guy's eye will be, and I'm going to sharpen my pencil just to get a finer point there. And we're just going to add an eye. Right here. We're going to go up. And we're going to add another piece in here for his eye, or her. And that's going to go up there. There we go. Circle, and we will take care of the details when we go back in and paint. I'm going to lighten that up just a tad. There we go. And the same type of shaping that we see on our turtle shell, we will also find on our little turtle's head. Let's get rid of that little line right there. There we go. I think this is a little bit too thick here, so I'm just going to thin this out a little bit. There we go. Awesome. Okay, and it is worth noting, I think I'm going to make this a little bit wider here. I wasn't too satisfied with that, so I want to change that up a bit because I think his neck's just a wee bit too long. We're just going to erase that there. There we go. Sorry about that, guys, but that's part of it. Learning to live with making mistakes. A lot of students I have, you know, they don't like erasers, or they crumple up their papers and get really upset if it doesn't look like mine, or they think they did wrong. I try to encourage them to continue working and not to get upset about throwing things away. There we go. Because it's okay to make mistakes, friends. We all do it. All right, so there's also these little necklines that we can add. We can put a few of those there. And we can just come here and we'll just add a little bit of this to show some wrinklies. This is pretty much our drawing of our little friend, the sea turtle. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a variety of colors of my Arteza brush pens. And these are a lot of fun to work with. Lots of vibrant and bright colors, and they really do work best on watercolor paper. Now, on my last tutorial, I made a mistake and forgot to use my watercolor paper and just used a multimedia paper. It worked. It turned out pretty neat, but it was a little more difficult to manage. So, these are all my Arteza brush pens, and I will be using a variety of rainbow colors on this little guy. And I hope you do too. And I will hop to it with some hyperlapse. First, let's talk about some colors. Teal, that's going to be one. I'm going to use a different variety of blues, sapphire blue, because some of my viewers, orange, a couple oranges, always message me on my Facebook page, what colors did you use? So bubblegum pink, yellows. Here are some colors I will be using. Light green, bright blue. I will be using a black for some details. Periwinkle, that looks like a fun one. A little bit of the reds, more green. This is a parakeet green. This is a turtle green. Definitely want to use that one, don't we? There's a little bit of a flesh tone in the turtle, so I'm going to go with an orange rust. I'm going to keep it vibrant. There's a little peach color to it to lighten things up. Light magenta, that is always a fun color, I will tell you that. And neon pink, that's one of my favorites to use. Use a little brown, this is walnut brown. And let's go with this one, a blueberry. So those will be the colors that I will be focusing on. I may jump in and get a few others. And I'm pretty sure once I'm done, I'm going to use a white acrylic pen. It's getting a little low. I may have to order a new one of those, but these are a lot of fun. It's an acrylic paint pen, water-based. Now shake it up, and it's great for details and outlines when you're done. And I tend to use the silver and the gold with a lot of my artwork. So I will just flip to some hyperlapse. And we'll get this going. All right, and there you go. It is, I believe, lesson summer session number 6. And this was our watercolor brush pen sea turtle. I hope you had fun with it. I was hoping this would blend in a little more, but that's okay. I'll probably work on that later. And I hope you enjoyed this little lesson. It was a lot of fun to do. Send in your work. Let me know how it goes. Talk to you later. Peace.